What if you could build your own AI assistant without complex coding? In today's session, we are diving into Microsoft Copilot Studio, a powerful platform that helps businesses and developers build intelligent AI agents with ease. These agents can automate tasks, assist users, connect with multiple data sources, and integrate seamlessly with tools like Microsoft 365, Teams, and more. Let's dive right in.
Microsoft Copilot Studio is an end-to-end low-code generative AI platform designed to enable businesses, IT professionals, and makers to create, customize, deploy, manage, and scale AI agents that automate tasks, assist users, and drive business workflows. Now, we can use the Copilot Studio to create different types of agents, which will help us to reduce the complexity of the task and also increase the productivity of the humans. Now, when we consider the agents, agents could be used to engage with customers or employees, and it supports multiple languages. Now, when we consider the Copilot Studio, unlike the standalone chatbots, Copilot Studio lets you build intelligent assistants that can understand natural language. We can also integrate with different data sources. We can connect to tools and services, and it can also be published in multiple channels. Now, when we consider the agents in Copilot Studio are also powered by generative AI. Now, the technology that uses the large language models, and within the platform, we can have different types of LLM models used for answering of the questions, and the authoring can also be done with the help of generative AI features. And if suppose the users need to be provided answers, then also we have the options of using the generative AI. And this is where we can also enable the AI to use its own general knowledge. So there are both options available where we can customize in the way we want, or else we can also enable this where the agent will be able to provide answers like a generative AI model. Now, when we consider this, the user's queries can be answered, then these could be used for answering the different questions that users are facing or to update different details in the respective services as well. And the different concepts or the main components that we have as part of the Copilot Studio are we have the topics, the entities, and the channels, and there are a lot more other components which enables the creation of the agents. Copilot Studio has a lot of options. Now, mainly when we consider Copilot Studio, these are used to create agents, which are the assistants that is able to assist humans. Now, to create an agent in the Copilot Studio, there are different components that we need to customize. In this, the first one is the topics. Now, topics is the one where we can provide different customizations. This is where we customize with respect to how the agent should function when the user asks any queries. So based on the user intent, how the agent should be providing the answers. So those could be customized with the help of the topics. We can add different types of topics. We can divert from one topic to another. Within the topic as well, if we want to utilize Gen AI capabilities, we also have the options for that. And along with this, now suppose we have different variables or the different names, phone numbers, country code kind of information to be stored, then those could be done with the help of the entities. So this can be taken care with the help of entities. Now entities are already, there are different pre-built entities available, or if we want to customize and create our own entities, there are also options for that. And once we mention these details, then we can also have the options for creation of different tools. Now we want to power the agents with the help of different tools. There are also options for that. Now, when we consider the tools, tools could be kind of automation where we want to provide some Power Automate flows, or it could be something like an API calls, or maybe we want to connect to some custom connectors. So there are a lot of options that is available, which we could add it into the platform. Now, this all are going to provide extra wings to the agents. Now, the other option what is available is the addition of knowledge sources. We can add different types of knowledge sources. Now, suppose we want to add any specific documents, there are options to add different types of documents. Or if we want to add different public websites, there are options to add public websites. Then along with this, maybe we want to add any Dataverse or SharePoint options into the agent. There are also options for that. And even external databases are also supported. So these are the different options that we have when we want to add the knowledge sources. Usually 512 MB is the maximum when we want to upload the different data sources. Now, along with this, again, this can also be powered by the different AI capabilities. Now, when we consider the AI capabilities, the capabilities can be also again or different types. Now, within the AI capabilities, we can utilize the natural language understanding. Now we would be able to design the agent just with normal natural language understanding. So there are options for that. Then we have options for enabling generative response where we can mention if the agent has to respond with the help of the generative AI models. Those options are also available. Then along with this, we also have the options of where we can provide different intents. So based on the topics, we want intent recognition or tool selection. So AI will capabilities will enable it to select those details as well. So it is based on the best options. It will be selecting the tools and providing the right output. Now, the next options what we have here is we can also have different types of integrations into the platform. Now, when we consider the integrations, this can be integrated with, or we can publish the agent into the Microsoft 365 applications, or we can have it published into Teams, SharePoint, D365. There are options to connect to many other 1,000+ connectors as well. So not just publishing here, publishing also we have different channels, and to integrate also we have lot of options available. And usually when we consider, we can integrate to lot of different connectors, which is available as part of the Power Platform. And if required, we can also connect using the REST APIs. So these are the different options that is available when we consider the overall integration. Now, once we have done this, we can also have the different deployment channels. Now, when we consider with respect to the deployment channels, we can publish it as web apps. A website could be done. There are options to publish it into websites. Then we could also publish it into Teams or M365 channels, ServiceNow or Salesforce integrations are also possible. We can also deploy it into omni-channels like the Dynamics 365. And within the agents, there are also options to view the analytics. So generally, if you want to view, once we have created the agent, once we have published it, we would also require to monitor and have an analysis. So there are also options for analytics. So usually in the analytics, it will be showing us the usage metrics, the general details related to usage. The conversation analytics would be available. Then we also have the option to see with respect to how many cases were resolved, whether the once, if suppose the agent is not able to provide the output, then maybe it could be also hand off to the human agent. So there are also options with respect to that. So these all analytics, we would be able to see it as part of the platform. Now, whenever we think about creation of the agents, now many of you would be having a question related to for what all use cases we could create the agents. Lot of use cases for which we can utilize the agents. It could be for customer support. Whenever we want to provide customer support automations, we can use the agents. Then we could use it for employee self. Then we could have agents for IT help desk as an assistant. Then it could be to assist with different automations like process automations or onboarding automations. In all these cases, we could utilize the agents, and for this, we could create the agents using the Copilot Studio. Now let's see how we would be able to create the agents using the Copilot Studio. When we consider the Copilot Studio, as mentioned, the main components which will decide how the agent behavior is related to the topics. Then we have options where we can also add the entities. So these are all the different options that we can see as part of the platform. Now, whenever we think about creation of an agent, we need to first plan related to the type of agent we want to create. We can define the agent's scope. We can define what would be the purpose of the agent. Then to which channels we would want to deploy the agents, and what would be the key metrics and the success criteria which will decide the agent is successful or not. And also we can have a verify all the topics, the entities, the conversational flows that we have tried creating. Now, once we decide with respect to all of this, then we can go ahead and create the agents. Now, let's see within the Copilot Studio, how do we create the agents? Now, this is the portal of the Copilot Studio where we can log in it using the work account. And this is where we need to log in. That is the copilotstudio.microsoft.com. And when you come here, whenever we want to create an agent, there are different options available. Either we can mention it, start from scratch, or we can use here itself natural language and then the agent can be created, or else everything one by one as a user we can create it. Now, the easiest way is by mentioning a basic details of the agent in natural language. And this will help us to create all the instructions descriptions in a very simple short time itself. Within seconds, it will be providing all the instructions descriptions. Otherwise, we have to mention all of it one by one as natural language. So let's see how this can be done, where we can mention create a customer service agent which assist queries regarding orders of customers. And just click on the arrow button. Once we mention in natural language, we would be able to see that all the details related to how the description, the name of the agent, the instructions, what should be the agent model that should be used. So there are different models that can be used when creating the agents. And as and when new models are established or created, we would be able to see it as part of the OpenAI models and the Anthropic models. All of this would be available here. And these are the different models at this point of time, what is available as part of the platform. So totally we can customize it. The instructions, either we can write from scratch. You can see the power of natural language, where by just mentioning a sentence, all the instructions has been set over here, all the details. You can see here step-by-step instructions. What is the purpose? What is the general guidelines? So maintain a professional, friendly and helpful tone. Now, if you want to mention any specific instructions, all of this, you would be able to mention it from here. And all the details about how the agent is supposed to function is also provided over here. The specific format, everything we could be able to provide it from here. And here we also have the option to add the different knowledge sources. And in the knowledge sources, we have different options available where we can add public websites, SharePoint, Azure AI Search, or if it's something related to the data in the Dataverse. So we could be able to mention the details, and this will also provide us the option to add details about the tables that is available in the Dataverse. And if you want to add these particular tables, then we would be able to mention it as part of the agent. Now, the next option that is available here is, so we would be able to see here the knowledge sources, whatever knowledge sources we want to provide, we would be able to add from here. Even if you want to add any documents, then we can also upload files. So suppose I want to provide some general information about the products, then those could be added as a file from here, and I would be able to upload the file. So usually this is how it will be showing us the option. And if we have any documents to be uploaded, then that can be selected and we would be able to add it. Now, the next option, what is available here is the topics. So topics is something which will set how the agent should be functioning. We have the Gen AI capabilities available. And in case in a specific manner, if the agent has to function, those could be set with the help of the topics. There are two options available. Either we can create it from blank or we can do it by adding from a description. So we could mention here the topic name and we can provide the details. Name your topic. So in this, we would be able to mention name your topic, which is the order status. And in this, we would be able to provide the details, create a topic and mention the sentence that is create a topic to handle the order status. And we could click on the create option. And you can see here all the details. Now, the topic would be generated and here we can describe what the topic is about. So this is about handling queries like the order status, tracking the order, anything related to the order, check my order status, all of that. And for this, we can add the option, can you please provide your order number where the user response will be taken, and that will be saved into the particular variable that is the order number. Now, in this manner, we can add and we would be able to create different actions as well. Now from here, if you want to create any actions, then we would be able to add it using the different options where we have the connectors and the tools option as well. And if we want to list any details, then those could also be added from here. So here we have these options of listing the rows. Now, based on the connector, suppose we are connecting to the different connectors. So based on that, you would be able to see the different options which is available and we would be able able to select that and add it into the platform. So this is how we can see the different options which is available. So here we have the Dataverse connector also available, where it will allow us to connect to the platform and we would be able to provide the details. Specific connections will be established and we will be able to click on submit, and this particular connector action will be added. And based on this, the details can also be provided for the specific details like the table name, what is the environment. So these details can also be added. So we would be able to choose the environment from the given environments, and also we would be able to select the tables. The tables which is available in this particular environment will be shown over here, and we would be able to mention the details. Now, once we have provided here, we can also add the specific details related to the variables. So we have options here to insert the variables as well, and we would be able to provide the details related to the information that is available with respect to the details. So this is how it will be showing us the information. And specific information, if we want to add, then we would be also able to add those details into the variable, and this could be displayed as well. So this is how we can see the details, and any kind of topics if we want to add, these topics could be added, and those could be added into the agent separately as well. So there are different types of topics that is available. We have custom topics as well as system topics, which is available. Now, these are the general topics that has been provided as part of the platform, which will take care with respect to if any errors or we are facing some issues, like the agent is not able to answer some questions, or if you want some of the queries to be answered by the generative AI, then those can be taken care with the help of these topics. And this is where we are providing the generative answers. So here you can see the data sources, and this is where we can edit the option. So here we would be able to provide the knowledge sources, and this is where if suppose we want to mention specifically any knowledge sources, then those could be provided and that can also be handled. Now this is how the general process takes place when we give the topics, and based on this the agent will be able to answer the queries. The next option what is available in the platform is the option of tools. So this is also one more option what is provided. Tools is also the extra capabilities that we want to add into the agents. Now in this as well, there are a lot of different options that is available. And if you click on this particular option, add a tool, you would be able to see there are different tools that is supported as part of the platform, like agent flows, prompts, model context protocol, computer use. So these are all the different tools that is supported as part of the platform. And if we want in a specific manner the agent to be functioning, then we could provide those details with the help of the prompts. Now, for example, if we consider we want this to be providing in a more empathical manner to the answers to the users. So that can be handled with the customer issue prompt. Like this, we could mention it. And for this, what we need to provide here is we have the option of adding the different contents over here. And these needs to be customized and provided, and we would be able to add it as part of the model. Now to add this here, we can see the option of add content. And in this, we have different options available. Now here we could provide a specific details like customer issue, and we can provide a sample data. I am having issue with my recent product. So like this, we could mention the details. And based on this, if we want the agent to be functioning in a specific manner, then we would be able to mention, and we can change the way here how this should be functioning. So we can mention for this particular issue, we could provide a more sympathetic and thoughtful response to show the concern, and provide them all customer care information as well. Once we have added the inputs, we would be also able to test it, how the agent is functioning. So this is where you can see the details, like based on the way in which we have provided. Like this, all the details will be provided, and this is how it will be providing. Or so here we can provide the details now, email, all this. If you want to provide, all these details can also be added. And based on this, in an empathical manner, the chatbot or the agent would be able to provide us the output. So there are customization options as well available. And if we want to make some changes with respect to the instructions or the way in which it is providing, so we can also take care of that. Now, if you are fine with this, we can just click on save, and that would be added as a tool to the agent. Now, to add it, we need to provide the details, like add and configure options need to be mentioned. And we can provide the details. So dynamically fill with AI, all these details can be provided. And once these details are provided, we can save this. And once this is done, then we would be able to, once all the details are provided and the completion, so how it is supposed to respond, we can also mention, write the response with generative AI, and we would be able to click on save. And once we have saved the prompt, we can go to the overview option, and we can also customize with respect to the instructions, where we could also provide specific instructions, like where we are mentioning the details, like we could provide here when a user mentions about any issue, we could provide the details like use this particular prompt for answering those queries. So this is how we can add the different kind of tools into the agent. And in this manner, we would be able to customize the agent, how the agent need to be behaving can be set with the help of the prompt. Then there are also options where we can add different flows as well. That is about creation of the agent flows, where we could mention the details. Like here, as we can see, we would be getting the option when an agent calls the flow. So we can provide the details over here, and the details can be provided like order number. Now, once we have provided these details, we would be able to add different connectors or the different actions into the agent. Here, based on the requirement, we can add the different options what is available. Now, in this case, we want to see with respect to the Dataverse data. We could be clicking on the list rows option, so which will allow us to list the rows which is available in the Dataverse table. Now, this is how it will be showing us the information. And from this list of data, to whichever table we want to connect, we would be able to select it. And any specific columns needs to be mentioned, then those could also be mentioned from here, or any filter queries or any details we need to provide here, then those details can also be provided, and we would be able to filter the rows. And once we filter the rows, then if we want to update the rows, any such different scenarios we want to use, all of this we would be able to add it from here. Directly, we have these options available, which will help us to list those rows and get those details and add it into the agent. So in this way, any kind of automations or updations we want to do, all of that we would be able to achieve with the help of the agent flows as well. So this is about listing the rows where we are providing the details of the table, and also filtering the specific rows that needs to be filtered. So this is how the details can be provided. Once we have completed the agent can be tested by testing your agent option in the Copilot Studio. Now we could mention the details, like how we communicate with a human. Similar way we would be able to mention here, I'm having issue with product. And as it is related to the issue, the customer issue prompt would be provided. Describe the customer issue you are facing. Tone product received, and the details can be provided. So even if a small mistake happens in the spellings, still the Gen AI will be able to make out. And based on this, you can see the customer prompt is activated, and it will be able to provide the output. The agent will be providing answers based on the queries of the users. As you can see here, if you check with respect to the details of the orders, all the details of the orders will be provided. Then based on the listing, now if the listing is asked, now based on that, the order details will be provided. And each time the tools that is activated will also be available in the analytics. This is where all the analytics details will be available, where it will show information about which tool has been used. Based on the prompts that is provided by the users, the apt tool will be selected by the agent, and the right answers will be provided by the agents. And these are the different channels to which the agent can be published. There are different channels available, and the agent agent could be published into all of these different channels. Based on the requirement, we can decide the scenarios, the use cases. There are a lot of use cases which is available to create the agents, and it could be deployed into the different channels.
A quick overview of Microsoft Copilot Studio and how you can build AI agents to automate workflows and assist users effectively. We have covered its core components, topic, entities, tools, and knowledge sources, and how they come together to create powerful AI-driven solutions. With Copilot Studio, you can streamline processes, boost productivity, and deliver smart experiences across channels. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more on Microsoft technologies and AI.